According to political analyst Barrister Bgbor Balla, the electoral crisis in Africa can be blamed on the lack of good governance, power drunkenness of African leaders, and the lack of Pan-Africanism.
The last 40 years, I've hardly seen any African leader who's a Pan-Africanist. They use Pan-Africanism just for slogan, to whip up sentiment and to have people support them. But their acts and their omission doesn't show they are Pan-Africanists. What they do to their population. You cannot be a Pan-Africanist when you don't even allow your people to have freedom of expression or assembly. Electoral crisis is a reflection of bad governance, mismanagement also, and taking the population hostage by our rulers. It's put the rulers in a position where they think they are above the laws. They think the country is their personal property.
He says poor electoral process has led to several crises in Africa, and for elections to be carried out smoothly in Africa and Cameroon in particular, a lot has to be put in place.
I think there's need for the state to win the minds and hearts of the citizen, meaning that the commission should be independent in the sense of the word. Not having people yesterday they were part of the ruling party, and tomorrow they just say they have resigned. It's not easy for somebody to be in a Politburo and just say that they have resigned the next day. We have independent personalities in this country who have always been apolitical. A Sudan man is a political being, but those who have not been involved in partisan politics, you have to try as much as possible to get there.
He called on African leaders to practice firm actions that will better the continent.
If we are cutting away from the imperialist leaders or neo-colonialists, we should look for a homegrown kind of philosophy or something to do. We should not, Wole Soyinka said in his farm dwellers that is it of any use changing one slot for another? So are we just shifting from the French to the Russians? I see there's a wave of Russian euphoria. I don't know the countries that Russia really supported that have succeeded. A country that doesn't respect fundamental human rights. Do you think that the leader they support in Africa will respect human rights?
The political analyst further urged African population and Cameroonians in particular to think of Africa ahead of the present, for these will enable them make positive decisions.
The younger generation, I see a lot of conscientization in them. On debates, a lot of people talk about getting back to the Africa values that they know. I am hopeful, but I am not very optimistic. I just I want to wait and see. Look at the new leaders that have taken over in Mali, in Niger, in Gabon, in Guinea, to actually see whether they walk the talk.
To Barrister Bgbor Balla, Africa will become a United States of Africa only when the continents come firmly together as one, letting go all external interference in the running and functioning of Africa.